offer of a new Air Force One jet. Garrett Hake is there for us tonight.
Tonight, another lavish welcome for President Trump on his Mideast trip.
It's just a perfect evening.
This time in Qatar. Air Force One escorted by Qatari fighter jets, the Emir rolling out a literal red carpet. The president's motorcade met by an honor guard on camelback. The dramatic visuals again giving way to deal-making. The White House touting $243 billion in new Qatari investment in the U.S., headlined by a $96 billion deal to purchase as many as 210 Boeing jets.
It's the largest order of jets in the history of Boeing. That's pretty good.
Trump is the first president to visit Qatar in more than 2 decades, which is home to America's largest Middle Eastern military base, but has also drawn criticism, including from the president, over its close ties with Hamas.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
And the president facing more Republican blowback over his plan to accept a $400 million luxury jet from Qatar, gifted to the Pentagon to serve as a temporary Air Force One, amid Boeing's ongoing delays delivering a replacement.
How do you know something's not implanted and it doesn't blow it up? So obviously there's a security concern there.
I could think of a lot of other things Qatar could do for us, like, for example, quit harboring Islamic jihadist terrorists who are trying to kill Americans.
Overnight, the president defending his decision on the deal, which has not yet been finalized.
With the United States of America, I believe that we should have the most impressive flag. Now, some people say, oh, you shouldn't accept gifts to the country. My attitude is, why wouldn't I accept a gift? We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept a gift? Because it's going to be a couple of years, I think, before the Boeings are finished.
And this morning, President Trump meeting briefly with the new Syrian president, a former al-Qaeda member who broke with the group and once had a $10 million U.S. bounty on his head before deposing dictator Bashar al-Assad. Trump lifting U.S. sanctions on the new Syrian government at the request of Saudi Arabia and Turkey.
He's got the potential. He's a real leader. And, he led a charge, and he's pretty amazing.
Meanwhile, Garrett, we're now learning more details about those Ukraine ceasefire talks tomorrow in Turkey.
That's right, Lester. Tonight, the Kremlin says Russia's President Putin will not attend those talks, while Ukraine's President Zelensky is expected to. Meanwhile, President Trump addresses U.S. troops here tomorrow, then heads to Abu Dhabi. Lester?
All right, Garrett Hake, thanks. An early season heat wave is hitting Texas with triple-digit temperatures as a series of extreme floods and fires stretches across the country. Ryan Chandler reports now from Dallas.
Tonight, a dangerous dome of oppressive heat, scorching Texas ahead of schedule.
Heat can be extremely dangerous, especially if you don't prepare ahead of time.
At this Dallas EMS station, first responders are preparing for weather's most common killer.
We kind of keep an eye out for younger children, elderly, adults.
We're used to the heat in Texas, just not this early. This is an unusual heat wave, giving many areas their first triple digits of the year.
And it's not just in Texas.
This heat is just awful.
Dry heat fueling wildfires in Minnesota. More than 33,000 acres have burned.
It's too hot, too dry, too much wind.
But as parts of the country bake, the East Coast is getting drenched. From D.C. to New York, some of the country's busiest airports are facing delays because of thunderstorms and rain. It follows major flooding in Virginia. Fire rescue teams said they believe they found the body of 12-year-old Jordan Sims, who was washed away in rushing water Tuesday.
Obviously, this is a very tragic situation.
In Maryland, flash flooding forced evacuations. Water rushing up to the second story of this elementary school. Children carried through the water, rescued on boats. Scientists say extreme deadly weather is becoming more common.
Both of these, extreme heat events and heavy downpours, are precisely the two kinds of extreme weather phenomena that are most clearly linked to climate change.
A link, scientists warn, could make major weather events more severe. Ryan Chandler, NBC News, Dallas.